Good evening, and welcome to another edition of EmoNews. We're back with the stories affecting Dominica, the region, and the world. This is the news package for July 13th, and I am your presenter, Soana Gordon. Dominica advances climate-smart agriculture through New Zealand partnership. Government invests $175,000 in major summer tourism events and launches World Creole Music Festival 2026. Iran launches new strikes across Gulf as conflict with US intensifies. And it's gold, and goals in sports over the weekend as Dominican athletes bring home gold medals and goals galore across DFA competitions. Stay tuned for the details of the news. In local news, police are investigating the circumstances surrounding a fatal road traffic incident that claimed the life of 34-year-old Renix Francis of Bells. According to the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, officers responded to a report at approximately 7:45 a.m. on Saturday, July 11th, after an unresponsive man was spotted below a bridge in the Concord Valley area. Upon arrival, police discovered the body of Francis in the water beneath the bridge with apparent injuries. His motorcycle was found nearby. Preliminary investigations indicate that Francis had been traveling from the Kalinago territory to Bells during the early hours of Saturday morning before the incident occurred. He was transported to the Marigot Hospital where he was officially pronounced dead. His body has since been transferred to a funeral home pending an autopsy. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force has extended sincere condolences to the family and friends of Renix Francis. Investigations into the circumstances surrounding the fatal incident are ongoing. Dominica has completed a 5-day technical mission under the Climate Smart Agriculture Initiative, marking another step toward building a more resilient and sustainable agricultural sector. The program, led by the Ministry of Agriculture with support from New Zealand and the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, included workshops and field visits to promote climate-smart farming practices. The next phase will focus on training extension officers and farmers to expand the use of climate-smart agriculture across the island. The ministry thanked its local and international partners for supporting efforts to strengthen sustainable agriculture and food security. The government of Dominica has invested $175,000 EC to support 3 of the island's premier summer events as part of its ongoing efforts to boost tourism and stimulate economic growth. Minister for Tourism, Honorable Dennis Charles Pemberton, officially presented the government sponsorship to the organizers of the Dominica Poker Run, Dominica Bike Festival, and Asa Banton's Breakfast Fete. According to the Ministry of Tourism, these signature events play a vital role in attracting regional and international visitors, increasing visitor spending, supporting local businesses, and creating economic opportunities for communities across Dominica. The ministry says the investment aligns with its commitment to increasing visitor arrivals, expanding opportunities for Dominican entrepreneurs, and advancing the country's vision of building a $1 billion tourism industry. Special recognition was given to Asa Banton and the Breakfast Fete organizing team for developing one of Dominica's leading summer events, which attracts thousands of patrons from across the Caribbean and members of the Dominican diaspora each year. The government reaffirmed its commitment to partnering with event promoters who continue to strengthen Destination Dominica, diversify the island's tourism offerings, and showcase the nature island as a year-round destination. The ministry congratulated the organizers of all three events and wished them every success in delivering safe, impactful, and memorable experiences for visitors and residents alike. The Dominica Water and Sewage Company, DOWASCO, has announced significant progress on the water sector strategic development project with the Caribbean Development Bank, approving an extension of the project's completion deadline to allow the remaining works to be finalized. The project's terminal disbursement date has been extended from March 30th, 2026 to September 30th, 2026, ensuring the successful completion of the initiative despite implementation challenges. The DOWASCO says 7 of the 9 glass-fused to steel water storage tanks have already been completed in Cassibrus, Calibishi, Monjon, Grand Fort, Salisbury, and Grand Savan. Work on the Monrachet tank is expected to continue in the coming weeks. Once completed, the new storage facilities will increase Dominica's water storage capacity by 1.19 million imperial gallons, providing at least 2 days of water storage for the benefiting communities and significantly improving the resilience and reliability of the island's water supply. The utility company also addressed the impact of the devastating April 26 flooding, which caused severe erosion and damage at one of Cassibrus tank sites. Officials say the affected tank will be dismantled and relocated to a safer location, taking advantage of its modular design, while remedial works continue to stabilize the surrounding area. According to the company, the project represents a major investment in Dominica's water infrastructure and will improve service reliability, increase water storage capacity, and strengthen the country's resilience to climate-related events for years to come. Attorney at law Singola Blomquist Williams encourages earners to contribute to the Dominica Social Security before they become elderly. Williams says the fund is very beneficial.
You have rights to your liberty, so nobody can force you to be incarcerated or to be put in a mental institution unless they have met those requirements under the Mental Health Act. You have a right to own your property, so you cannot be deprived of that property unless it is through the due process of law. You have a right to your religion. Nobody can force you to practice a faith that you do not want to. And of course, you have a right to be free from discrimination and to degrading and humiliating treatment. I will not expound so much on it. I was just giving that as an overview. Now, in our society, we have the Social Security Act, which caters, and the primary objective of the Social Security is to protect contributors against income insecurity coming from contingencies such as old age, invalidity, death, employment, when you lose your employment, injury, or sickness.
Williams also spoke about the Mental Health Act, which allows someone to be granted trust to manage the estate of the elderly who are unable to do so themselves.
I believe that sometimes you're not even mentally ill and you have to avail yourself of that act. Doctor, no offense meant. But I believe it should be more of a generic word where it should be a vulnerable person's act that would help us to avail ourselves of the laws without, because some people believe it is a stigma to be saying that you're mentally ill. We have that stigma in Dominica. And sometimes it's just that you're getting older, you're getting more forgetful, as the doctor explained earlier.
These were some of the contributions made at the Dominica Council on Aging panel discussion on Saturday. Meanwhile, financial institutions also made presentations on some of the safeguards put in place to protect the elderly from those who would abuse them financially. Here is Denise Duvernay-Farrell, legal officer at the National Bank of Dominica.
There are tools available to allow an account holder to authorize other persons to manage or to assist with managing their bank or financial affairs. And the purpose of my short contribution is to encourage us to think carefully about the consequences of choosing one tool over the other. We will compare mandates, also known as letters of authorization, powers of attorney, and the joint account. So a mandate, it simply allows an account holder to authorize another person or third party to withdraw funds from their account. Now I say withdraw because as a matter of policy, the bank will not permit a mandate to allow any other or greater transactional authority. So the individual who the mandate has been granted to will only be able to withdraw and deposit, yes. So for example, a person authorized under a mandate cannot request mobile banking access, they cannot request a card, they cannot request check, they may not be able to sign checks, those kinds of things, so they will only be able to withdraw from the individual's account.
Also addressing the issue of financial abuse is Nakisha Etienne of the National Cooperative Credit Union.
One of the things that is important to the NCCU is the rights and protections and financial protection of our elderly members, our senior members. Because really, this is the subsection of our membership that spearheaded the cooperative movement in Dominica and it supported the cooperative movement. They're the reason why the NCCU is what it is today. So it is very important that we all plan for aging. Like Ms. Farrell was saying, we want to put things in place. And at the credit union, we have services that can help us to do that. So we have the member retirement accounts. We also have final expense plans like the FIP and the FBI, that is the Family Indemnity Plan and the Family Bereavement Insurance. So as it relates to the member retirement accounts, the MRA, the member retirement account, is an account we have, and it's not like any other savings account. It's locked in, so you cannot simply come in to withdraw. The nature of the account, it discourages withdrawals. You open an MRA account by walking into any NCCU branch with your birth certificate if you are a member. And your deposits are capped at $1,000 every month. The interest rate is 4%. And what will happen is, as you save, you will accumulate a lump sum. We will give dividends, and at the end, when it is ready for maturity, that would be at age 55 or at age 60, depending on the choice of the account holder. You will have a lump sum available to you then.
Among the headliners of this year's World Creole Music Festival are dancehall artists Skilly Ben, Capleton, and Alkaline, with the Discover Dominica Authority promising 2 other artist reveals still to come. The announcement was made at the official launch of the festival on Friday. The official festival launch was hosted by Shelley of the Signal Band, Dominica's youngest and baddest Buyo sensation. Of course, they are on the lineup, as well as Colton T, who is enjoying viral fame at the moment with If I Ask You for a Dance, Would You? Long-serving Triple K International also included, along with Rio, Trilla G, fresh from Africa, Asa Banton, Ecstasy, and Midnight Groovers, among other Buyo sensation. Regional compa artists Tabu Combo, Class, Marshall Montano, Full Blown, and Vaughn will complete the lineup of major acts for the 3 nights of pulsating music. This year's edition of the World Creole Music Festival will be held on October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Minister of State in the Ministry of Tourism, Honorable Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte, addressed the launch.
I'm sure that if there are those of you who are here for the first time, you will say that this is a marvelous hotel right here. I would like to begin with a simple question. What is it that really makes the World Creole Music Festival special? Is it the music, the artists, the atmosphere? I imagine most of you would say all of the above, and you would be right. But after having worked in the Ministry of Tourism, I've come to believe it's something else. For me, the most powerful part of the World Creole Music Festival begins when the music ends. One of the things I've learned in tourism is that visitors rarely remember only one thing about the destination. They always talk about the performances, but before long, the conversation changes. They begin talking about the waterfall, the roadside meal that became the highlight of their trip, the taxi driver who suggested a stop that wasn't on the itinerary, the vendor who made them laugh, or the people who made them feel welcome.
In regional news, the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL, has launched the second round of applications for the Pearl Allison Lake Scholarship Fund, which supports outstanding students across its member states. The scholarship honors the late Pearl Allison Lake, a longtime ECTEL staff member, and provides financial assistance to students throughout their secondary education. Last year, 5 students, including Dominica's Rachel LeBlanc of Portsmouth Secondary School, received $1,500 EC to help cover educational expenses. Applications for the 2026 scholarship program are open until July 19th, with eligible students encouraged to apply through ECTEL and the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission. The Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CIDEMA, and the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening disaster preparedness and resilience across the Caribbean. The pledge came during a meeting between CIDEMA Executive Director Elizabeth Riley and JICA's St. Lucia resident representative Hirohito Takata on the sidelines of the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in St. Lucia. The discussions focused on deepening collaboration between the two organizations and exploring new opportunities to enhance disaster preparedness, risk reduction, and resilience building initiatives throughout the region. And finally, in regional news, Barbados is advancing efforts to modernize its public health system through a public health datathon focused on improving the use and sharing of health data. The one-day event, hosted by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, with support from PAHO and WHO, brought together health professionals to strengthen the country's health information systems. Participants identified data gaps, improved information sharing, and explored ways to support better public health decision-making. A key outcome of the exercise will be the phased migration of surveillance data to the DHIS2 digital platform, beginning with syndromic surveillance and notifiable diseases, to create a more efficient and integrated health information system in Barbados. On the international scene, tensions in the Middle East have escalated after Iran launched missile and drone strikes targeting countries hosting U.S. military bases, following a new wave of U.S. attacks on Iranian military sites. Iran says it targeted military facilities in Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, and Oman. Jordan confirmed intercepting several missiles that entered its airspace. The U.S. says its strikes targeted Iranian air defense systems, missile and drone capabilities, and naval assets to reduce threats to shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. The latest exchange has raised fears of a wider regional conflict and increased concerns over global oil supplies. And finally, in international news, veteran U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina has died at the age of 71, following what his office described as a brief and sudden illness. Flags at the White House and across the United States were ordered to be flown at half-staff in his honor. Preliminary reports from Graham's office indicate that the cause of death was an aortic dissection caused by arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease, a life-threatening tear in the body's main artery. Graham had represented South Carolina in the U.S. Senate since 2003 and was serving as chairman of the Senate Budget Committee. Throughout his political career, Graham became one of the Republican Party's leading voices on national defense and foreign policy. Under South Carolina law, Governor Henry McMaster will appoint an interim senator to fill the vacancy until early next year, while the Republican Party prepares to select a replacement candidate for the upcoming Senate election. And that's all the international news. We'll be right back with sports.
Coming up on the outside.
Sit down, my girl. Sit down.
Dina coming up on the outside.
Look it. I don't know.
In sports news, we begin with World Cup action. The FIFA World Cup 2026 enters its decisive stage this week, with 4 football powerhouses battling for a place in the final. The semi-finals get underway on Tuesday when France takes on Spain in what many are calling a clash between 2 of the tournament's strongest teams. The following day, England will renew one of football's greatest rivalries when they face defending champions Argentina for the second place in the final. The final 4 teams earned their places after impressive quarter-final victories. France defeated Morocco 2-0, Spain edged Belgium 2-1, England overcame Norway 2-1, and Argentina defeated Switzerland 3-1. Football analysts have described this as one of the strongest World Cup semi-final lineups in recent history, with the world's top-ranked teams competing for football's biggest prize. The winners of the 2 semi-finals will advance to the FIFA World Cup final on July 19th, while the losing teams will meet in third-place playoff on July 18th. Also in football news, it was another action-packed weekend of football across the Dominica Football Association competitions, with goals flowing in every division. In the DFA Premier League, Portsmouth Bombers delivered a dominant performance, cruising to a 5-1 victory over Mighty Avengers. Dublin maintained their impressive form, defeating Middleham United 4-1 to continue their strong run in the league. In Division 1, Tier 2, LA Stars recorded a comfortable 2-0 win over Naturescape. Jalen Matthew and Max Prosper were both on target, as LA Stars claimed all 3 points. Meanwhile, in Division 1, Tier 1, Fokole staged a comeback to defeat Kalibishi 2-1, extending their impressive run in the competition. The biggest scoreline of the weekend came in the DFA Women's Premier League, where Maho Soccer Strikettes produced a stunning 16-0 victory over All Saints South City in a one-sided encounter. In the day's other women's fixture, Kalnago Warriors defeated Harlem United 2-1 in a closely contested match. With exciting matches and plenty of goals across all competitions, the 2026 football season continues, delivering thrilling action for fans across Dominica. Dominica secured a silver medal at the 2026 EGVA Under-20 Beach Volleyball Championship after an impressive run to the men's final in St. Kitts and Nevis. The three-day championship hosted at the Marriott Resort brought together the region's top young beach volleyball athletes in a series of exciting and highly competitive matches. In the championship final, St. Lucia's duo of Emmanuel and Clark defeated Dominica's Taj and Keston in straight sets, 21-18, 21-19, to capture the gold medal. Although falling just short of the title, Dominica's Taj and Keston delivered an outstanding performance throughout the tournament. The pair displayed excellent teamwork, aggressive serving, and determination, pushing the eventual champions in both sets of the final and earning a well-deserved silver medal. Host nation St. Kitts and Nevis completed the podium, claiming the bronze medal after another strong showing on home sand. Following their victory, St. Lucia's Emmanuel and Clark credited their success to months of hard work and preparation. Dominica's silver medal finish highlights the continued growth of the country's youth beach volleyball program and reinforces its position as one of the region's strongest emerging teams. And Dominica's javelin sensation, Addison James, has struck gold at the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Under-18, Under-23 championships, delivering a championship winning throw of 72.02 meters in the men's Under-23 javelin. Addison continues his winning streak, showcasing his dedication, talent, and determination on the regional stage, bringing home another major achievement for Dominican athletics. Congratulations are in order to Addison James on this remarkable accomplishment. Our other athletes at the championships were Karel Etienne and Keone Esprit. Karel finished 8th in the women's Under-23 100 meters final, crossing the line in 11.67 seconds. Keone didn't advance to the finals of the Under-18 boys 100 meters. We thank them both for flying Dominica's flag high and representing the Nature Isle. And finally, in athletic news, Dominican athletes have delivered impressive performances at the ongoing track and field championships in Curacao, securing several medals and recording new personal best marks. Chastity Daniel emerged as one of the standout performers, winning gold in the Under-15 girls 80 meters. She later returned to claim another gold medal in the Under-15 girls 400 meters, setting a new personal best. Karim Jean-Baptiste also produced an outstanding performance, winning gold in the open men's triple jump with a new personal best distance of 14.20 meters. During the morning session on day 2, the Aspirers team added 4 more gold medals to its overall tally, along with 3 new personal best performances. Gold medals were won by Delaney George in the Under-17 boys high jump, Karim Jean-Baptiste in the high jump and open boys long jump, and Zidane Cornelius in the Under-13 boys long jump. Silver medals were secured by Shante Joseph in the open girls high jump, Huma Jean-Baptiste in the high jump, Jaden Joseph in the open boys long jump, and Zidane Cornelius in the Under-17 male javelin. Bronze medals were won by Omari Caesar in the Under-15 boys long jump and Huma Jean-Baptiste in the open boys long jump. Al Larocque also achieved a major personal milestone in the discus, surpassing the coveted 40-meter mark with a throw of 40.70 meters. Congratulations to all our athletes who continue to make us proud on the international stage. That's it for sports news. We'll be right back with the weather report. Good day to you. This is the weather broadcast from the Met studio at GMAT for today, Monday, July 13th, 2026. We're starting off today for satellite imagery, and across Dominica and most of the Lesser Antilles today, a high pressure system is dominant, resulting in a relatively stable atmosphere, which is limiting significant shower activity across those islands. Meanwhile, further down south, a relatively active ITCZ is resulting in some cloudiness and scattered showers across these islands. As we move across the Atlantic, we observe that there are no tropical waves being analyzed at this time. Zooming in a little closer to home today, skies have been generally partly cloudy during the morning so far as some low-level clouds move across the area. And as we move on to radar imagery, it indicated just isolated showers from time to time over open water with no shower activity being observed across Dominica throughout the morning. But what we are observing is quite a bit of Saharan dust across the area. This plume is moving across, resulting in moderate air quality. This is expected to persist into tomorrow, Tuesday, with a reduction in Saharan dust concentration thereafter to about fair air quality. So those of you with respiratory sensitivities to continue to take precautions to avoid complications. So tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and hazy, with isolated showers mainly in the interior as a high pressure system continues to be dominant. Temperature expected to be relatively warm throughout the night, down to about 25 degrees Celsius in our coastal communities and down to about 22 degrees Celsius, of course, much cooler in the elevated interior. Winds are lighter compared to the last couple of days, peaking to about 30 kilometers out of the east-northeast. So looking ahead, tomorrow, high pressure system expected to be dominant. Occasionally cloudy and hazy conditions with just a few brief showers are anticipated. By Wednesday, a low-level trough is expected to move across the Lesser Antilles. However, at this time, there's not a lot of moisture associated with this low-level trough. Thursday, similarly, relatively dry conditions with just a few showers and occasionally cloudy skies. Temperature expected to remain warm, peaking to about 32 to even 33 degrees Celsius during the day, and at night down to about 25 degrees Celsius. To continue to stay hydrated. We are now back to a green threat levels, that is no threat, a green alert for our winds and our seas, with our seas on the east coast peaking to about 7 feet into Tuesday and even improving further, peaking to about 5 feet from Wednesday and into Thursday. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:42 a.m. and will set at 6:40 p.m. The first high tide tomorrow will be at 2:41 a.m. and the first low tide at 9:54 a.m. Please remember that we are still in the hurricane season. Do continue to plan and to prepare. For updated information, you can join us in our WhatsApp channel. You can go ahead and scan this QR code to gain access, or join us on our Facebook or Instagram platforms at Dominica Met. Do send us pictures, do send us your comments. Do continue to have a productive week. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time.
This has been EmoNews for July 13th, 2026. I am your presenter, Anna Gordon, and I'll be back with you tomorrow to bring you more details of news shaping Dominica, the region, and the world. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Goodbye.